Hello to all of you positive parents. Imagine if somebody told you when to get up, when to go to sleep, when to go to the bathroom, when to eat lunch, when to eat dinner, when to come sit down, and when to stop watching TV. You would have a meltdown as well. So it's really important to give our kids just a little bit of a... I'm back. I'm Dom, the BCBA mom, and welcome back to my channel.
I'm Dominique, a board-certified behavior analyst, well-versed in applying behavior analysis to our everyday parenting lifestyles, and I'm a mom. More specifically, I'm a mother of a child with autism. If you are the proud parent of a child with special needs or autism, aspiring to become a BCBA, or looking for positive parenting tools to add to your toolbox, you're in the right place.
So if you're anything like me, you've been probably dealing with a lot of tantrums or tantruming behavior while we are sheltering in place with our loved ones. Let me tell you why that is. Tantrums are a normal part of child behavior. Tantrums are usually an outburst, flare-up, or some unexpected behavior that lets you know that your child is upset or frustrated with something. And there are many reasons that tantrums occur, but typically it's because our kids are having a hard time coping with whatever change is going on in the moment. Whether they're stopping something fun and starting something that don't know what's next, they can't have access to something that they want, whether it's you're not looking at me, you're not giving me enough attention. There are many reasons why a child may exhibit some tantruming behaviors, or an abrupt shift in their schedule, routine, or something that they really want, and they're having a hard time coping with this change. We all do it. We all have tantrums. And I think once we start normalizing that we all have frustrations when things don't go our way, we can start giving a little more grace to our children when they express frustrations in the form of tantruming. Think about it like this. If you had a game plan in your head of how you wanted the day to go, and then all of a sudden you get to work and the things that you want aren't there to have an effective day, or your favorite coffee shop is closed, or you are waiting for your food at a restaurant and the waiter finally brings your food out and they got your order mixed up, or they ran all out of shrimp, or something threw you off. Something was either added to your schedule, taken away from your schedule, or something completely threw you off. Think about it. We have reactions to this. Sometimes our reactions can be like, are you kidding me? Sometimes our reaction is to yell and scream. We have a more emotional, intelligent reaction, and we just come up with a solution. But we all have disappointment and frustrations when it comes to changes in our schedules. And we're adults. Of course, we have to expect that our kids are going to have some level of frustration as well. So once we have identified that tantrums are normal, okay, then we can start replacing the tantruming behavior with a more appropriate behavior that produces the same result. So this video will highlight 4 effective ways to help tone down the tantrums. Number 1, you want to teach functional communication training. So this is just a fancy word for teach your kids how to communicate what they need. So in ABA, we have many different ways of communicating. It's not all the same. You can have a man or a command. That's when a child is saying, I want this, I need this, I'm hungry, look at me, I want. They're commanding something from you. You want to teach your kids how to mand or command. The second one is tact or label. You want to teach your kids how to label the things that they want in the environment. You want to teach them computer, chips, juice, water, potty, sky, ground. That is a tact, or teaching them to label certain things in the environment that'll help build that communication skill. The third one is a coax or imitation. You want to teach your kid to just imitate what you say. Say more, and then they say more. Say please, and then they say please. Say yes, and then they say yes. That is a way to teach your kid how to better communicate. The fourth one is written language or scriptural language. So I can go on and on about all of the different elements to functional communication training, but the more you teach your kids how to verbally, written, or using sign language, the more you teach them how to communicate and ask for the things that they want using their words, then the less likely they will have to depend on tantruming or screaming behavior to get what they want. Think about it. When our children were born, the only thing they knew how to do to get what they want is cry. So as we get older, we are taught to find other ways to get things that we need, like asking for it. But when things don't go our way, especially with children, they will resort back to their natural response, which is crying. So working on functional communication tools or functional communication training, that's something that you have to work on. That's something that they have to be fluent and confident in, that their words have value. When I ask mommy for something and I use an appropriate tone, I usually get what I want. Whenever I cry and scream and holler, not so much. Functional communication training. The second one is you want to use visual cues. So think about this like in school. In school, why do you think they have the alphabet plastered on the wall? They have the days of the week. They have the colors of the rainbow with the spelling. They have math problems. They have numbers. They have all of these visual cues and schedules around the classroom because they know that sometimes kids need reminders and they need visual prompts to stay on task. At home, I think we take this for granted. We just assume that our kids know what's going to happen. They know the rules. They know what to expect. They know what's coming next. Without us providing visual schedules or visual cues, there's no way to ensure that they have everything that they need. So if you see that your kid is tantruming a lot due to transitions, or during transitions you see that your kid is tantruming a lot, it may be very beneficial to add a visual schedule. You can use an if-then schedule. You can use a first-then schedule. You can use an 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, corresponding times. You could just use pictures. But this is a visual to let your kids know what to expect. Like I said, tantrums happen when our environments change abruptly. So if they know what changes are going to happen and what's expected of them, then they are less likely to tantrum due to changes in their schedule. This is no different from adults. Adults, we set schedules for ourselves. We set schedules and visuals for ourselves as well. Whether that's a reminder on our phone to breathe or to stand up, whether that's a visual prompt at the traffic light to stop when it turns red. We have visuals and prompts all around the world to help us transition and to help us follow the rules. Our kids need the same thing. Help them out. Get a visual schedule. Number 3. I know I talked a little bit about if, then, but I want to break it down just a little more. When you use the if, then contingency, it provides your kiddo with just a little more information on what's going on throughout the day. So, for example, your child needs to stop playing their favorite game on the iPad because you need them to eat dinner, right? This is a very logical explanation. But many times, this is what triggers those tantrums. So an example of this, you will say, hey, little Bobby, if you eat your dinner, then you can return to the iPad. If you do this, then you will do that. So kids are more likely to follow your instructions when they know what they will have access to afterwards. This is not to be confused with bribery. Okay, we're not here to bribe our kids. We're not waiting until they're on the floor in a meltdown, in the middle of a tantrum and say, please, could you please get up? If you get up, I'll give you some ice cream. No, that's bribery. I'm saying state the expectations up front. This is what's going to happen. And if you do this, this is what you will have access to. Stating the expectations and using a if, than contingency. It goes a long way. A bonus tip is you can also provide choices for your little ones. A lot of times they have tantrums because they feel like they have no control over what's going on. Imagine if somebody told you when to get up, when to go to sleep, when to go to the bathroom, when to eat lunch, when to eat dinner, when to come sit down, and when to stop watching TV. You would have a meltdown as well. So it's really important to give our kids just a little bit of autonomy over their schedule. You can say, hey, do you want to eat now or do you want to eat in 5 minutes? What do you want for dinner? Do you want peas for your vegetable or do you want broccoli? If you're doing e-learning, you can say, hey, do you want to start with reading or do you want to start with social studies? It's just giving them the choice of the two things that you want them to do anyway. So they think that they have a choice, but they're really just picking, I don't know, the lesser of two evils? I don't know. But it gives them a sense of confidence, a sense of autonomy, a sense of having a voice. And that's going to go a long way when it's time for them to advocate for themselves. Now, the final step to help tone down those triggers are you want to enrich the wait. Typically, we see a lot of tantrums when our child is asked to wait for something. There's a lot of waiting involved. They have to wait in line. They have to wait in the car, a long car ride, wait for mom to get off the phone, wait for me to get off a Zoom call. There is a lot of waiting involved. And to ask a little one to just wait, this ambiguous wait word that you say that comes along with the ambiguous time is very hard for them. So one thing you can do to help with the wait is enrich the wait. If I know that I have a long car ride and my kid has to wait or is going to be in the car for a while, then I may pack all his favorite snacks, his favorite coloring book. I may have his favorite playlist in the car. If I know that we're going to be at church and there's going to be a long wait while sermon is going on, then I pack some things to help him wait more appropriately. If you know that waiting is an issue, then plan to take breaks during the wait. Whether enriching the environment during a time that is unstructured is a really good time to help minimize those tantrums. If a kid has everything that they need, if a kid is being reinforced in the current environment, then you are less likely to see those tantrums. So you want to be proactive when it is time to tackle these tantrums. You want to be proactive and you want to think about everything that could possibly happen or trigger a tantrum before it happens and plan for that. So that is all that I have for you. I hope that can be helpful for you, your little one. I hope that helps to tone down some of those tantrums for you. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. That way you get notifications on when I upload new Dom the BCBA Mom videos because it just keeps getting better. I love all of you positive parents. Please continue to thrive and be the light in your children's lives. They love you, they depend on you, they are counting on you, and you have everything that you need to be an exceptional mother in their lives. I love you and keep watching. Please like and share. Bye.